Before we jump right into the topics, I want to ask you guys, what is the strangest things that you found while doing a showing? Because the FBI recently found 1,000 bottles of baby oil in Diddy's house. I could imagine what that's like walking into a room and you see 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I have a crazy story from one of the showings that I did. I want to hear what you guys, one of the craziest things that you've seen, that you found, or did you run into at a showing?
I heard that those bottles were also 2-gallon in size.
Yeah,
like they were the normal ones.
They were special order from Johnson & Johnson.
That's a slippery house, bro.
What I read about it is that his lawyer is saying that because his house is close to a Costco and Americans tend to, I guess,
Buy in bulk.
buy in bulk. I mean,
He's playing the American card. That's wild.
He said we needed the pallet.
Yeah, he said he's a red-blooded bleeding American who doesn't buy in bulk. Yeah.
What's the strangest thing you have found?
personally, I mean, I think Giovanni knows about it. It was actually one of my first showings out in the country. I was with the family showing a house, and one of my clients walked into the restroom before me. And they were like, "Oh, I think you have to see this." And I was like, "What is it?" And I guess it was something with illegal substances in there. I notified the listing agent as soon as.
What color was the substance?
Yeah.
White powder.
Wow.
So I called the listing agent right away, and they were like, no, somebody was cleaning the house, whatever. I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, just make sure your clients don't leave that out. I guess I don't know. I mean, I didn't know.
I don't judge what they do. Just don't leave it out.
Bro.
I mean, that's what it says in your listing agreement too.
This didn't happen to me personally, but it happened at one of my properties. We don't manage our own properties, right? Nate manages mine. I manage Nate's, to help each other out there and keep the emotional aspect out of it. So we encourage you to hire the property management company. I got a call from the property management company that they went to go show my house and that there was a guy living in there.
Yeah.
So me and Nate had to get in my car, drive down there, and kindly evict him.
Yeah.
Kick them out. I don't, man. I would have to have my top three because I've found so much in different homes, but I think the funniest thing that I found in a home was, well, I don't know about found this. I mean, it was a bidet, right, in a toilet, right? But it was super strange. It was like a homemade bidet into the toilet, right? It was
water
weird.
hose on the side.
Yeah, and it had a one of those heaters, the water, what do you call the tankless water heaters, the little boxes?
Mm-hmm.
It had a tankless water heater connected to the toilet, and then it had the whole bidet thing. And this was years ago, right? Before I started, before even Amazon was around, where they were selling, these.
You said before I got civilized.
Yeah, before I got civilized, right? So it's funny. It's my funny Venezuelan story, right? Because my clients were from Venezuela, and they asked me, "What is this? Is this something American?" And I'm like, I said, "I don't know." Well, I turned the button, and water came out from the toilet and hit my client right in the face.
No, but was it warm because of the hot water heater?
It was the tankless water heaters. It was hot, I guess. I don't know.
Ingenuity.
Yeah.
That is wild.
One of the craziest things for me was I booked a showing. We get there with my client. I'm walking through the property. They're all excited. They really like it. It was a townhouse down here inside of the inner loop. We're walking through. I'm getting ready to go show the bathroom in the hallway, not the owner's suite, not the ensuite bathroom. But before I get to open it, the seller comes out in a bathrobe, all freaked out. Because the seller's agent didn't tell them that I had booked, even though it was approved.
Oh, I do remember that.
It was approved, and she walks out all freaked out. I'm like, this is Texas. You can have guns on your property.
Yeah.
Imagine, if it would have been somebody who's packing and they come out with a freaking gun. That could have been dangerous for me. So now I always learn. I knock so hard. It doesn't matter if the house is vacant or not. I always knock really hard on the door, and I open it. I always tell my buyers to wait in the back. I always say, hey, there's a realtor here, and then I wait, and then I walk in. So ever since then, I've always implemented
You
that.
know what? That happened to me one time. I went to a showing and the sellers had already accepted an offer, but their agent did not notify me about it. So she never like canceled my showing or anything. So we got to the house and I'm like here trying to open the door, and then the seller opens the door. I'm like, okay, we had a showing, and he was like, oh no, we just got a contract accepted, and so I was like, okay. I mean, I told my clients they were so sad about it.
Dang.
When I used to do showings, right, I always would get to my showings early, right, because I go in there, turn on all the lights, make sure everything looks good for my clients. And I remember one time I showed up to a property, went inside, and they told me they had a dog, and that they had a dog, but it was outside. Well, these guys had a doggy door, okay? And I guess they had like something that closes the doggy door so the dog can't come in, but it wasn't closed. So I walk in, I'm turning on lights, and I get to the back to where the kitchen is in the back door, and I just saw this big pit bull's, just push his head through the doggy door. And he just gave one bark, and I ran to the bedroom, and I was actually stuck in the bedroom for about 45 minutes until the owner came and put the dog up.
That's nuts.
Is wild.
And they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to lock the dog." I said, "Yeah, man, it's a freaking pit bull, and I saw my clients were outside, and like."
No. Another thing which I mean, it's probably normal because we are in the South, but I was showing houses on acreage like 3 years ago to one of my clients, and we walk into, had like a separate garage built out for all their cars, and they had this huge Confederate flag on one wall, and my clients were offended. I didn't even really pay attention to it. I just saw it and I was like, oh, it's like, it's the South, but these people were coming down from Dallas. I was like, okay, well, Dallas, that's more like corporate professional. I was like, we're actually in the South down here, So to me, it was normal. Like, I mean, you see those every now and again out here. It's not that crazy to actually see a Confederate flag. But my client was a little offended whenever we saw that, to the point that they didn't want to make an offer on that house. They got another house that they had seen that day, but that was like a very big turn off for them.
So let me ask you this. If you were the listing agent on that property, would you tell them to put up their Confederate flag?
I would tell them to declutter and make the house feel like a model house. The house itself shouldn't have anybody's personality, because you want to make the buyer go and see it and feel like, okay, I can make this mine. If you go to an open house, the open house, I mean, looks awesome, right? But it doesn't feel like anybody lives there. It looks nice. There's furniture there, but it doesn't feel like nobody lives there. It doesn't have a personality. And Confederate flags, that's a personality. That's somebody's choice. I had another client who had African artifacts all over their house. And they straight up told us, don't worry about that. We're going to take them down. This is not the first time that we sell. We know the process. We're going to declutter. We're going to take it down. We're just going to make the house look nice and smell nice for you. So it's just about decluttering the house, making other people feel like they can put themselves in the house and not feel like it belongs to somebody else. The reason why we tell them to take down their family photos and stuff, you don't want to make it feel like somebody owns this house. So that's why we do that. All right, so jumping right into our topics today. The title of the podcast, What to Do in Q4 to Dominate in Q1 of 2025. And this is probably something that we talk about around this time of year as a company in general and to our agents as well. And the first question that I have here for you guys is, what is the feel that we have for the current market? So what are you seeing in the current market right now? What is the feel that you have for it? Nate, you can talk about this from a broker perspective. Vic, you can talk about it from a manager, what you're seeing with your managers, and me and Flo can talk about it from the realtor aspect.
So I'll start for right now. Q4 is always gear up, right? You're ready. You're finishing off the year. You're ready for next year. You want to set the expectations, set the goals, set an understanding of what we're going to do and what we're doing for next year. So as a manager, you should be game planning with your team, identifying their needs. Team needs change every year over year. Life happens, changes happen. Preparing for that and making sure that everything works well within your plan makes sense. Florida has some ideas that she wants to do. Giovanni has some ideas that he wants to do with his team. We've got to make sure that it's all cohesive within the realtors, with the managers, and the managers within the brokers. Make sure our vision is aligned and we work towards a common goal. So what do you need to do in order to dominate Q4? You need to sit down and set an expectation for what you're looking to do next year and what you can implement. So what I use Q4 is to track what worked this year and what I felt I could improve on. That's specifically what I do from a management perspective.
Gotcha. And one thing, like one of the feels that I have for the market right now in general, that I'm out there actually interacting with the realtors, going back and forth with them on deals or whatever it may be on showings, and also interacting with clients and with my personal realtors on my team is I feel a lot of uncertainty from realtors in general. The public right now has a better grasp of where the market is, so they come to terms, right? The people that are looking to buy right now is people who need to upgrade. It's no longer a want. It's people who need to do something right now. But with the realtors in general, I'm getting people call me, hey, Giovanni, you know what? I had a preferred realtor that I've worked with for years, and they haven't answered my phone in a month. I've been calling them and calling them and calling them. They're not picking up. Realtors right now, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm lost. I don't know if I'm going to switch brokerages. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and go to this brokerage. They're starting something new. Yeah. Okay, well, what is that new thing that they're starting? I don't know if it's going to work, but it's new because what I'm doing right now doesn't work, and I need to prepare for next year. So a lot of uncertainty in the market from realtors is what I'm getting right now.
I rarely make bold assumptions or predictions about the market, but I will say after tracking the market, I was talking to Nate earlier in the year about this. As I've been tracking the market, we've had an 18-month downturn here in the Houston market as far as home prices, home sales, and everything. Everything's been on a downtrend for close to 2 years. As fast as that's gone by, it was January of, I think, 2023. You started seeing that slowdown probably November, September, December, that year before. So you've had an 18-month downturn, and then something around June, things started changing. And this is where I lean on, my business associates and honestly the expertise of Nate, as a business owner and a broker. You see that downtrend, and you saw the change. Like immediately, property started going into contract, people started buying, and all of a sudden, it was just like the flip of a switch. Everything got exciting again. We as agents, or even managers, I would say, I've been in this business 14 years. I feel like I'm a veteran. I feel like I've been through a lot. I can handle a lot of deals. I know how to do a lot of things. And I still realize that I haven't truly been through a market crash in an up. I experienced the market crash as a kid. And when I got into the workforce, the market was down. So I didn't have any other choice but to just go up. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling Nate, I have that same excitement right now that I had when I was a kid. I felt like, bro, this is my time. It's my time. I need to reinvest. I need to double down. I need to do the work. I need to be consistent. I need to go. So from a brokerage standpoint, I'll let Nate kind of talk a little bit of that. But as agents that we're looking to hire, we're looking to hire hardworking, committed, agents in that aspect.
Yeah. So the thing is that during the great times, right? Because we had some really good times, and you spoke about it last time too, that you came into this business whenever it was moving and shaking, right? I sounded like that crazy old man that was preaching end of the world, right? I kept telling everybody, hey, that's great, you're making money, but take the time to learn the system because it's gonna stop, right? This is not gonna go on forever. This is just it's all the stars aligned, right? It was great times, and because of that, right? A lot of people that listen to me and most of my managers, Vic, and a few salespeople that reached out to me personally, right? They took the time to learn the system, to learn Vic's system, and do these things. And so now, if you look at our, the change, since the change, even before the change, I want to say, even into now, those agents are killing it. I mean, we have closing after closing after closing after closing. They're not skipping a beat. And the reason they're not skipping a beat is because, we show them how to sell themselves, how to market themselves. It wasn't just all about social media. There was many aspects to that, And so I see that, I knew that this change was going to happen. And I don't want to say it's a bad market or a slow market. It's the different market. And of course, I would say that it's election year, right? A lot of people don't say, election years, it doesn't make a difference, but it does. A lot of people are just kind of like, all right, let me just get through Q4 and let's see what happens next year, right? And that's a lot of people's attitudes, So you have that. You have the changes that came down from NAR. You have all the, like Giovanni was saying, all the uncertainty, all the, some of these people that are uncertain or that are scared are people that never got the proper training, and that's what we're looking for, people here that are not, I don't want to say scared, that's people that are concerned and that want to take their business to the next, or
people
their
that are looking
Guidance.
at this market with a sober look, right?
Yes.
They're not scared. They're
Yeah,
like, hey, I know
that's
that I need to change.
Yes.
I just don't know what to change. So they're looking for the advice, looking for the guidance. Floyd, as somebody who's a newer agent, like, what's your feel for the market? And you could talk about it from a actual, like a client perspective, or even a realtor, just in day to day.
Well, personally, like as an agent, last year, whenever like the year was ending and then we were preparing like for this year, I mean, I feel like I prepare myself to work, to make my calls, to follow up, and the things that we are taught from our managers, from big. And I feel like following that pattern, yes, I had a couple months that I was slow for personal issues, and it did take me a little bit to kind of like
Get the ball rolling.
Yes, but because I have been taught, and I have I follow these steps on how to market again and everything on myself. I feel like I'm catching up again on my deals and my goals that I had set for the year at the beginning, or actually at the end of 2022.
Yeah.
So it's super, super important, I would say, for an agent to set up those goals and set up those expectations and see where you are. Like, let's say, we're in, Q4, where am I at?
Mm-hmm.
Is it gonna be, still doable to crush it? Or what am I doing wrong? What Big says, like kind of like revisit what has generated like, business to you throughout the year and do it. So I see the change in the market, but I feel like I don't see it at the same time. Because I don't, as a newer agent, I don't have, like the prior experience on, how the market was before. So I'll say something.
And no, that's something that we've said, is that, some of these newer agents that come in, they don't know no better. They're just doing what they're taught. And obviously Flores is definitely an example of that. She was Realtor of the Year for last year, and this year she's already, hit her cap. She's already getting where she needs to be, and she has a lot of business in the pipeline. And why? Because she doesn't know any better. She just came in and she listened to her sales manager. She listened to the president of the company. She listened to her broker. I mean, she's just listening to whatever we're telling her to do because she wants to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say something definitely, for a newer agent that is looking to get into the business, don't be scared. Do your research. Be with a company that is going to guide you, through these tough times.
And that's one thing for sure, right? One thing that we're looking at right now is, okay, cool. We have all this uncertainty. We pinpoint the issues that we're going through right now in Q4, what we get a feel for in the market. And we're talking about preparing for Q1 right now. So what is your outlook for Q1? What do we think is going to happen? Of course, right, nobody can predict the market. It's dang near impossible. But we do have a feel for the way that it's going to react, at least within the first 6 months. So what kind of feel do you guys, especially you as a broker, Nate, and Vic as a manager, like, what is your outlook on Q1, and what are you telling your realtors? Hey, expect this. More than likely, this is what's going to happen.
Before I go into that, I just want to point something out real quick. I've been through a mortgage meltdown, a real estate, a real estate apocalypse, right? I've been through recessions, I've been through 3 different real estate trends, maybe 4. And I would tell you that this is not it. This is not some kind of recession. This is not some kind of, real estate, apocalypse or any of that. I mean, this is just a change that essentially it was a market correction. It's a correction. Yeah. It's a correction back to the way we used to do business. Now, you say, what do I see in Q1? I see real estate professionals coming out of the woodwork and killing it in this business. Because right now, like you said, there's a bunch of real estate agents that are scared. There's a lot of real estate agents that have actually left the market. That's why they're not answering the phones. I mean, we personally know some people that have literally left the real estate business. They didn't renew their license, even in our company. And the thing is that, what does that mean for us? Well, that means that there's a void there. There's a void that needs to be filled. So just like every time a new president, as soon as the presidency thing is over with, as soon as the next year starts, everybody's like, all right, whatever. If their president won that they wanted, they're going to be super excited and get to business. And if the president that didn't want wins, then they're going to get like, okay, well, that's, it is what it is. Let's get going, So I think that Q1 is going to be very busy, and I think it's going to separate the real estate professionals from the these guys right here like to talk about.
So what I see myself do, I feel like now I'm preparing honestly to be a lot busier next year. Personally, like myself, with thoughts that I already had with current clients, that their clients are in the pipeline, that we're going through certain like uncertainty during this year, but I feel like for next year, they're getting ready. So I mean, I don't know what is so funny, guys.
Know.
Like,
I
need to be able to laugh. Like,
they're playing footsies. I don't know. They have inside jokes.
No, those are great points, right? When we're talking about the market. So, what can someone do? I have two questions for you, and they're gonna go back to back, right? They pretty much go hand in hand. What can someone do right now in this Q4 to dominate 2021? And then once they figure out what they can do, how do they apply or come up with a game plan to apply those actions? So, right, let's say a realtor comes into our office here. Hey, you know what? I'm coming from this other brokerage. My pipeline dried up. I sold to everybody that I know. I don't know where to go from here. I didn't really have a game plan over there. I used my connections that I had. I used social media, and that kind of slowed down for me. What should I do now? Should I do cold calling? Should I do letter writing, circle prospecting? And if you do tell me, yeah, go cold call. Okay, but what does that really mean? Because we see a lot of talking heads on short form media, and the reason why we really like to implement long form, we really like to do hour-long videos every week, so you guys can get an actual like behind the scenes or an understanding of what we're talking about here. So what does it look like to implement these very foundation strategies that we have here at Lionsgate Realty?
So I think at every different level. At every different level, there's a way that you should conduct yourself and conduct business. And why I reached out to Nate, or why me and Nate were having the conversation, is because I was concerned that I was delusional. Really is what I told Nate. I was like, am I delusional? Am I full of myself? And do I think too much because I'm super confident, I'm excited about what's coming, and I'm ready to go? And Nate's response was, no, this is where you made your business in. This is a familiar feeling to you. Everyone's, concerned, everyone's whatever, and this is just how you've done it. And we started talking about things that we did back in 2008 or 2010, when I joined Nate. And those things for me, everything is just like a no-brainer. It's like we're going to go back to doing the things back then as agents. What were you doing as an agent in 2008? I mean, I know you already had the brokerage. What were the agents doing then? We were targeting apartments through flyers. I think we were doing the human signs. We were doing the postcards, but not EDDM. I don't feel like EDDM was around,
No,
and if it wasn't. I didn't have the budget for it. So it was. We did those. You were talking about forging relationships with the community, I think was your response, and how you were doing that for the brokerage.
Yeah. I mean, it just comes back to being known in your area, right? And it comes back to what we would, put together as far as, marketing, right?
Yeah.
But, everybody thought that posting social media, and I'm not dogging social media, because I did Facebook for a long time. When I started Facebook, I got a lot of pushback at that time. I remember, I got a lot of pushback from people, right? They were like, hey, that's not going to make you money, or that's not going to be worth anything, right? Doing social media. Social media was for fun and for it was recreational, right? It wasn't really for business at that time. And I'm talking about like 2006, 2007, right?
We owned so many builder company pages
we
because
did.
they didn't take it serious, and,
Yeah.
and we did. I say
own
Nate
some.
did.
I still own some. They didn't take it seriously, so I own neighborhoods with the builder. I mean, I own builders' personal Facebooks, and they don't want to pay for them. They still don't believe that much in social media that they're not willing to pay for the social media for me to sell them back their page. And so the thing is that you know, we were getting to know people in our area, in our community, and that's how we made money, because we were known. Social media made people feel like, okay, they saw me on social media, so they know me, right? But
Yes.
everybody knows that you know, social media, you know, for lack of better words, is fake, right? You're just posting you're posting the good side of what you want people to see, right? You're not having that awkward client interaction. You're not having that awkward, door knock. You're not having that awkward, let me get an application on you. I run into you at the store. I run into you somewhere, and we get to know each other, right? It's just a picture of you or a video of you doing something interesting or funny, right? And people were confusing that with marketing, and that wasn't marketing. It's not marketing.
I mean, in a way, it is marketing, because you're still putting yourself in front of a lot of people, but the way you work around that marketing, I feel like, is what makes the difference.
I would say that and that's one of the disagreements that I have with younger people, right? Is that I would say that that's more in the side of advertisement. You're advertising the image that you want people to see. It's no different than a billboard. It's no different than a sign on the side of your car. It's advertisement, because based on you, what they see of you on social media doesn't portray how good you are at negotiations. Doesn't portray how much knowledge you have of real estate. It's just you, if they like you or if they don't, and so no, in my opinion, it's almost impossible for you to market and sell yourself on Instagram.
See,
or
and
social media.
this is where we disagree.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
Yes,
We do.
Because
We do.
this is where we have this discussion. As a matter of fact, right now we're having a kind of a brainstorm meeting internally within the company for letter writing, right?
Uh-huh.
And I love to compare social media to letter writing or even cold calling, simply because what happens whenever a realtor, for example, right now, right, we're telling people you need a door knock, cold call, letter write, do your circle of influence, whatever it may be. Okay, these people take these points and they're like, you know what? Awesome, I got this list of people in the community, I'm gonna call them. What happens if they don't have a game plan prior to that? What happens the moment they pick up the phone? Oh, hey, you thinking about selling your house? What happens? Click, right? Same thing with social media. If you don't know what you're doing with that piece of content that you're putting out, then it's pointless, because you don't have a game plan behind it. At one point, social media didn't need a game plan. You could put out a piece of content, walk in the house, and it will blow up. That's going away. Just like simple letter writing or simple cold calling, that's going away. Everything needs to be strategic. You need to have a game plan. You need to have a pain point for that clientele. Everything needs to go back to, why does this person need to hear me out?
Okay, so
And you can do that to social media.
I'm gonna cut it
It's
down.
just
I'm gonna
way
cut it down
harder.
to simple. I'm gonna cut it down to simplicity. Okay. Whenever I post, something on Instagram, right? I'm right now averaging between 3,000 to 3,800 views, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 38 people that put their eyes on me, okay? That see what I'm talking about, okay? Now, out of those 3,800 people, how many of those people do you think I close?
None.
None. You put 3,800 people in front of me, you know how many people I'm going to close?
A quarter.
No, way more than that. Way more than that.
Those are rookie numbers. You
That's
got to
rookie
pump them
numbers.
numbers up.
I thought we just talked about being humble.
No, I'm being
We talked about showing humility, but this is not a moment of
we
humility.
gotta talk about.
Hold on, I get both of
No.
y'all's
Hold
points.
on. Let me finish.
Let him
Okay.
finish
So
his
that's what I'm telling you. And what you just said right now is incorrect. You're saying you get cold call and you call and you tell them, hey, I want to sell your house or I want to list your house. Oh, they're gonna hang up on you. See, that's the problem. Cold calling is never for you to sell a house. It's never for you to get business. Cold call is an introduction to that person. Letter writing is an introduction to that person. And these two things are way more intimate, or I don't want to say intimate, I don't know what's a good word to use, but they're more personal than a social media post. A social media post is absolutely, what's your favorite word? It's topical. It's like, okay, whatever. It's like I said, it's no different than driving down 45 and seeing a billboard of somebody, doing something funny.
See, and this is where, and I'm glad we're having this conversation right now, because this is where people misconstrued what social media actually is for a business. As a business, right? For you to advertise yourself as a business, for you to market yourself as a business on social media, you missed a point where I said, whenever you tell somebody to pick up the phone and cold call, hey, are you looking to sell your house? They're going to get hung up because they don't have a game plan behind it, right? They don't have a reason why they're calling. Same thing for social media. You don't have a reason why you're posting. You're just posting a house. Of course, it's not going to hit the right market audience. Social media is a great way to build up a pipeline, just like any other aspect, but you have to do it right. That's one thing that me and Vic are working on to building within the company. And I think it's great because Nate just had this discussion with another realtor that's on another part of Texas. And that's the part that they didn't understand. Nate was like, oh, you're backing her. I was like, no. The first part, yes. The second part, no. Because the second part makes absolutely no sense for you to be making content for realtors. Sure. You're not hiring realtors. You're selling to buyers and sellers. So where is the content that the buyers and sellers need?
Sure. And I just wanted to get Floyd's perspective on it. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that I get both of yours points. I get Nate's point that if a video has in social media 1 million views, and out of those 1 million people that saw the video, how many are out of those you're going to close compared to you being in front of 1 million people. Mm-hmm. But if you don't put yourself out there by providing them, value, there's a lot of people that don't even know about HAR, that HAR exists, that they can search properties in HAR or whatever. So if we share, properties that are, we think, or me personally think that, are a great option for somebody out there that is looking for a very specific piece of land or whatever, and I share that, and that I have people reach out to me about it, and I close those deals, I generate those leads. It's about how you present yourself to that people, because at the end of the day, it comes down of about them liking your personality too. That somehow, depending on the type of content, you're going to be like sharing yourself. There's a lot of agents and people out there, that are fake on social media, but there's a lot of people out there that I feel like also are true to themselves, and they don't like cover things up, just like the way you are.
You're campaigning. You're campaigning to let them know what makes you better than other real estate agents. It's advertisement, and it's not marketing.
And that's an important point. So my beef with realtors all the time is that they are not marketing. Social media should be just one marketing tool that you're using in a wide range of things that you should be doing. If they all work together to build a persona and you're marketing collectively, then great. But I've always, when I talk about building a plan for the end of the year, I talk about tracking what worked and what didn't work. And when we talk about social media, people lack the hooks. They lack the follow-up. They lack creating a sales funnel. They lack the lead capture. They lack the follow-up. They lack the retargeting. They lack every single step that we do in our letter writing process. Our letter writing process, we do an introduction where we're hooking them. We do a follow-up so they can get to know us, and then we do another follow-up, and that's where we do the call to action. We have steps on how to market in every different revenue. This is what we talk about when you talk about having different revenue streams in real estate. I'm not telling you to go flip houses and to go invest in real estate hedge funds and invest in this. I'm telling you to invest in your different marketing businesses. Invest into your social media, invest into your letter writing, invest into your cold calling, invest into your lead gen. However you're lead generating, those need to be your revenue streams. Those are 4 different type of things that you can do to generate business, and you do that by following the same marketing principles. You do the hook, you do your intro, you do your call to action, and you close them. Right? And then you're able to track your closing ratios. You're able to track those. And that's why I tell people that they're doing social media wrong. There's nothing behind it. You're not pushing for something specific, which is what we're working on now, right?
And Giovanni,
You're not providing value.
How many times have you done a video or you know, a YouTube, Instagram, whatever, any social media? How many times have you ever done a video so awesome that somebody says, "Oh, here, just send me the contract. Here's the money"? Never. You always have to meet with everybody.
That's not true.
No, you always have to talk to somebody.
That's not
you
true.
always have to explain. You always have to show them the property, even if it's you walking it with your camera. You always have to do all these things.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
Hold
no
on.
way that you can sell a property
That
through
is not
social
true.
media posts without any interaction
But
from
it's
your
part of
end.
the
that is not
process.
I'll jump in right now. There's a
impossible.
rule and there's an exception.
Yes.
Right? And the rule is you have to put some time
Well,
into it.
that's my
There may
point.
be
That's my
exceptions.
point.
Let him
That's
throw
my
his,
point.
his experience, his little experience that he sold
That's
one
my
house
point. It's
and
not-
another from somebody
See,
from some
and
other
look,
Hey,
state.
hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. You ain't gonna bash my boy out here.
Hold on.
ahead.
You're not gonna
Go
act
ahead.
like social media doesn't work. And
That's not what we
literally,
said.
And we're literally
That's
sitting
not what
here
I said.
on a podcast.
I said social media.
And you're sharing 20 clips a day, bro. Like, relax. Hold on,
social
hold
media
on.
is advertisement. It's not.
Hold on.
It's not. It's
That's
not marketing,
true.
bro.
That's why it's called social media marketing. There's literally marketing agencies.
I mean,
Coca-Cola
Nate,
markets on social media, bro.
If you see, like, my pipeline, and Giovanni can attest to this, he's gonna see that a lot of my clients come from
Yes.
social media, and all of them,
Yes.
most of them turn into closings.
Yes. How many of those did you have no interaction other than they saw a video of you?
Oh, tons.
So you didn't sit down with them. You didn't talk to them. You didn't explain to them. You didn't send them the contracts to get signed. You didn't take them to the closing table. You didn't put all that together for them.
Wait, hold on. What point are you arguing right now? Are you arguing that a letter does that for you?
No.
Okay, well, no, because we're saying
I'm
the same
telling
thing.
you that
Same.
it's
marketing. It's the introduction
it's a part of the
to
process
you.
as well. Like, whenever you send 1 million letters, like, you're not gonna get interaction with all of them. It's the same. I see it the same with the video.
I think
It's
I want to bring it back to the conversation of what we're having here, because we're missing the point. We're having a discussion whether social media works for marketing or regular marketing works, right? Or whether social media is marketing at all. That's not the conversation. If you do social media properly, it can be marketing.
Yes.
95% of people, 93, no, probably 98% of people. 98% of people are not doing social media
Where did you get those
marketing
statistics?
I was
Where'd you get those
confident
statistics
with
from?
the
Let me
first
see.
number you threw
Yeah.
out.
95?
95.
98.
Yeah. You second guess
98.
yourself.
No,
Now I want to see the stats.
So
Where they at?
98%, I did them really quick. in my head.
98% of the people do it wrong.
98% of the people do it wrong, right?
98.9.
Just like 98% of people who pick up a phone and cold call are doing it wrong. Is the reason why it doesn't work. My point is not which one's better. Decide what you're going to do right now in Q4 or what didn't work this whole year. How are you going to make it better? And my point is, in order for any of these aspects of marketing to work, you need a game plan. So that's the whole point of my next question, right? Is how do you write out that game plan? Whether you want to do cold calling, whether you want to do letter writing, you want to do all of them, how we talk about.
Yeah.
How does that game plan come into play, and who should you be speaking to help you with that?
Any marketing plan that you set up and anything that you're doing needs to have a personalized approach. You need to be talking to your specific target people. That's what we talk about. Targeting specific people in your niche, creating the authority, becoming the authority in your market. You do that by specific target. You're talking to the people that can talk to you. One of my best examples for the letter, right, just because it's my most recent one, is our beautiful and awesome videographer, Jaden. It's the story that I say that he wasn't having any success with his, he wasn't having no success with his letters. And we sat down and I read his letters and I was like, hey, bro, this is pretty generic, right? As we wrote out, why this story is so important to me is because Jaden wasn't living in the best area, right? It used to be okay. It's gone down to there's been a lot of crime in the area, and that's why his family wanted to move out. The area is just changing, and these were his concerns. And I told him, Jaden, if you're having these concerns, I promise you, other people in your community are having the same issues. He said, I don't want to come out as vulgar. I don't want to come out and do these things. I don't want to put that out there and have a bad image. I said, you're not the one doing bad things in this community. You're not the one terrorizing this community. You care about this community. You're going to continue to live here, right? He said, yes, I am. I said, okay. So then how do we attract or talk to the people that are wanting to move? And then what are the pain points? What specifically bothers you in your community? Well, everything bothers me. Okay, there's trash. Okay, all right. Well, what are you gonna do about the trash? Well, I mean, people clean it up. What's bothering you? So we're brainstorming different ideas, and he landed on what really bothers him, what really kind of just ticked him off, and was the thing that made him want to leave that community when he's never wanted to leave it before, was his Amazon package getting stolen. He was like, I'm really, I'm constantly getting Ring doorbell notifications that they're stealing Amazon packages. And I said, okay, we're going to put that in the letter. And we were unsure. I was unsure how the community was going to take it. I was unsure how it was going to sound on the letter because the tonality is not there. I was a little concerned. But the moment that we really sat down and we wrote that letter out, and we sympathize with the people. Hey, are you tired of getting tired of Ring door notifications? Are you tired of getting your Amazon packages stolen? Are you looking to move to a different area? I would love to help you out. Just kind of short, sweet, 3 sentences, address the point, what I'm willing to do for them, and who I am. That's what we kept in that letter. And I think he sent out maybe 13, 14 letters and got 2 leads off of it. Jaden is a really hard worker and got 2 leads and decided that was enough for him.
That's it for the year.
So that's pretty much the point that I want to point out, right? Because it's all about making sure that we're hitting the people's needs. We're speaking to the people who need to do something right now. It's not about people who want. You know what? I'm thinking about wanting that I want to upgrade to a house. Okay, more than likely you should be spending your energy on somebody who needs. So you go and find that, whether it be you're driving by a community and you see a vacant house. Back to the broken windows thing. You see a broken window. It might be a tired landlord who's ready to get rid of that property, right? Someone who needs to sell. You want to go and find those people, whether it be people going through divorces. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, find the problem, become the solution. And if you can't find, if you don't see somebody telling you what the problem is, poke at it until you figure one out. There's a problem in every neighborhood.
Yes.
Some people want to move. I mean, it's funny because we were talking about in Encino Estates in Dayton, me and Flor, and I have a client over there who loves the area. Dude is in love with the area. And Flor has one who hates it, and he's ready to leave, right? So if you talk to either one of them, I mean, one's going to stay there, the other one's ready to go. Mm-hmm. You just got to make sure that you land on the guy who's ready to go. Yeah. And that's the whole point of every aspect of marketing. But what I really want to emphasize here is you guys see the way that we're talking here, right? The conversations that we have. We have these conversations even more in depth. And it's the reason why we're able to pull this out of our realtors for them to figure out what they need. If you're not having these type of conversations with your brokerage, with your team leader, then of course you're going to be spinning your wheels and not knowing what you're doing and just picking up the phone calling, hey, do you need to sell? Hey, are you looking to sell your property, writing it? Of course that's going to happen because you don't have a plan, you don't have guidance. These conversations, as lively as they are, even though Nate is a brokerage, of course we're going to do what he advises us, but we allowed these conversations in order to figure out what's going to work best for everybody. Yeah. And that's what you should be looking for in a brokerage.
Iron sharpens iron. So you can't just, everything, there's no definite. I've been proven wrong a lot of times. Not from Giovanni, but like from other realtors. They've actually proved me wrong, and sometimes we implement it into the company and and that's why this company has lasted so long. We're almost at We're almost at 20 years now. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about, but we're not going to have time for it. We'll probably do that next week, and that is how to set up a
business plan.
No, goals.
Goal exercise.
A goal exercise, yeah. So we'll probably talk about that next week along with a business plan. That'd be perfect. Goal exercise and goal planning. I mean, goal planning and a business plan. I'm over here. Can't think today.
Let's laugh at him on 3.
Yeah, right.
I know. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, the debate's not lively no more. I can't think. I have to slow down. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and exit out. You can catch us every week. We're live on... I can't even think today.
You okay, man?
HP. I mean...
No, but when do I upload these videos? I totally forget.
Wednesday.
I'm burning out.
You upload them on Wednesday.
You'll find them on our YouTube page, Lionsgate Realty YouTube page. This is HBR. We are live. We shoot every single Wednesday. So if you want to be a part of the podcast, if you want to be a guest on here and you're in the industry, we're more than happy to have you on. Make sure that you hit that information down in the description below. Reach out to us and we can schedule you in. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys exit out.
Hey, Giovanni, hold on.
Until I can remember what I need to say.
So you said Q1 was thumbs up or thumbs down?
What do you mean?
Q1 is thumbs up or thumbs down? Is it gonna be a good
year?
You're
optimistic or pessimistic? What do you think?
Oh, for Q1? I think we're gonna be good.
Okay, so I'm giving Q1 a thumbs down. So You can find me in all my social media outlets at Better Call Nate, and you can get some accurate forecasts and some real real estate training. Go ahead.
Yeah. Whatever happens in Q1, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my thumb in it.
Yeah, and Q1, yeah.
And we gotta have some fun.
That's terrible.
Flor Velasquez with Lionsgate Realty. I'm excited for next year. Really excited.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right,
Oh.
guys.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear
wait.
Vic's forecast for.
I said I'm gonna put my thumb in it. We gonna kill it.
Where can we find you on social media?
My new social media name, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna call myself El Presidente, and
I like that.
Realtorino TX as of now. And we are hiring. We are looking for like-minded, hardworking, energetic, excited realtors. So look for me on Realtorino TX. Lionsgate Realty is growing.
You're looking for new realtors that are ready to put their thumb in Q1?
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm Giovanni, your gracious host here at the HBR podcast. You can find me on all social medias under Giovanni, JOVANI_FRANK, Giovanni_Frank. Until next time.
Damn.